What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Welcome to NICO 2.0 guide in Call of Dragons. Game developers decided to switch the engineering skills with the PvP skill. You know what this means? We have a brand new talent tree, we have awesome Warpet pairings, we have some good artifacts to use with this gold key hero. If you're new here, subscribe for more content, like the video, share it with your friends, drop some comments down below. Let's get this party started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, brand new day, brand new video. Today we're gonna have a look at NICO 2.0. The plan is to try and make the video under 10 minutes, but I think that's gonna be impossible. So this is NICO. Game developers decided to switch the engineering skills with the PvP skill. The guy can now do some good stuff in the open field. I mean, the skill is not too great, but it is useful in the open field, which is a big plus for everyone. We are almost in the late game and NICO is still very useful in the open field, especially with his defense break and his insane counter attacks as well. So let us see what the game developers has changed about this hero. We shall begin with everything that is showcased on the screen over here. NICO is of marksman, PvP and precision. He used to be engineering. This engineering skill was right here. As of right now, it has been changed. It is a skill that now works in the PvP. So let us go over the skills real quick. His rage skill, known as the piercing shot, rage cost 1000, attack range is medium. It deals damage, 1400 damage factor, and it applies a defense break of -15%. This defense break is a debuff that should work with some pets and some other hero pairings in the game. A big plus. Going on to skill number 2, which used to be the engineering skill, expert mechanic. When entering battle in the field, so this one is only going to work in the open field, doesn't work in garrison. The Legion gains vigor, HP plus 10% and haste, march speed plus 15% for 10 seconds. This effect can trigger once every 30 seconds. So now when you're chasing enemies in the open field, when you target them, you're going to gain haste, which is going to make your NICO move faster. And if you want to run away, within that 10 seconds, you can get away because your NICO is very fast. This is pretty good. You have the HP that's going to make you take somewhat very little damage. It's a good thing. Moving on to skill number 3, we already know this. Legion marksman units gain 20% attack and 10% defense. A very good skill to have. Attack, defense, and HP. This is some good stuff. Skill number 4. When casting rage skill, Legion gains onslaught and riposte, increasing normal attack and counter attack damage dealt by 20% for 5 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 7 seconds. So we have a good skill with a nice counter attack damage bonus. Very useful with Kinara. Moving on to the awakening. When NICO's Legion launches a normal attack on a target Legion that already has defense break, they have 80% chance to deal additional damage. This is one of the best skills on NICO. And when you pair him with Kinara, he's going to take advantage of Kinara Jawbreaker, which is it the defense break skill that will allow NICO to continuously do 200 damage factor almost every 2 or 3 seconds, depending on how many times you trigger it. One of the best skill on this hero. Makes him very good for poking your enemies. So this is everything that we need to know about NICO. They just changed the second skill, making him useful in PvP. Up next, we go to the hero pairings. When it comes to hero pairings, there are 2 good places that you can use NICO. Number 1 is going to be NICO and Kinara. These 2 combine well together to do some good stuff in the open field. So where is Kinara? Kinara. Where is she hiding? Okay, I think I passed her. You already saw her, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, we go one by one. Okay, so here is Kinara. Kinara has this skill known as the Jawbreaker. When Kinara's Legion launches a normal attack, they have 20% chance to inflict defense break on the target Legion, reducing their defense by 20% for 3 seconds. So this is what NICO is going to use with his awakening skill to do a lot of damage. And these 2 combine well together to take the Snow Peak Rock Pet to the next level. We're going to talk about that in the next section. So this is the first place that you're going to use NICO. If you don't have Kinara, you can use NICO with Gwanwyn. NICO and Gwanwyn, the best free-to-play archer pairing in the game from Season 1. So this is something that you can try. Now, the second best place to use NICO is going to be in a multiple cavalry march setup. If you're going to use multiple cavalry, you can use NICO over there, because NICO has a defense break, which is pretty good. He can pair well with Ferondil, or he can pair well with Theodore. You can use him in your multiple cavalry setup and you should get a lot of good value. Now, when it comes to other heroes, there are so many good pairings you can use with your NICO as well. In the late game, I've seen people use NICO with Sibyl. Works very, very well. Where is Sibyl? Sibyl is right here. Works well with NICO. You also have the likes of Fulgrim. You can pair him pretty much with a lot of other good heroes. I'm not so sure about Sindrion and Freyga. I haven't seen people run NICO with Sindrion and Freyga. But the most common ones are NICO Husk. We have NICO Gwanwyn. We have NICO Fulgrim. We have NICO and this hero right here. And so right now, Madeline also works with archers. So that is something that you can try. NICO and Madeline. You're going to have some nice counter attack as well against your enemies. So that's going to be pretty good. This is another pairing that you can try. Another one is NICO and Craig. A very good pairing to use in Season 1. So you have a lot of options. But overall, the best place to use NICO is with Kinara. That is your number one. And then, if you're going to be running multiple cavalry marches, you use NICO as well. In terms of artifacts, there is one that really works very, very well with NICO. And that is the Rattle Spear. This Rattle Spear works well with Kinara and NICO. It's a defense break-based artifact. It has a nice additional effect. When your Legion inflict defense break on an enemy Legion, your Legion gains defense penetration. Ignore some amount of the enemy's defense for 7 seconds. So this is the number one artifact you use on your NICO with Kinara or NICO with pretty much anyone except your cavalry marches. You have other options as well. If you don't have this one, you can try the Viola's Bow, or you can use the Shadow Blades. So these are some good ones. I don't know about this Heart of Camarcy if it works so good on NICO. I haven't tried it, but it's another option. So you have many other artifacts here that you can use, but the best one is going to be the Rattle Spear, or you can use this one right here, Viola's Bow, if you want to try it out. What else can you try? You have some other epic artifacts in the game, but I don't really recommend it. Just find a legendary artifact and use it. Moving on to the Warpets, you have a few options. Let's check them out. Number one Warpet for NICO is going to be the Shadow Manticore. You're going to get this pet in Season 1. So this is the pet that you build for your NICO in Season 1. If you're going to pair your NICO with anybody else other than Kinara, you're going to go with the Shadow Manticore. Plus the Shadow Manticore is also going to work against Behemoth. Now, if you're going to pair NICO with Kinara, your number one pet is going to be the Snowpeak Rock. Just remember that this pet does not work against Behemoth because it's applying a debuff on the enemy. It works through enemy debuffs, which is something you cannot apply on Behemoth. So this pet doesn't work on Behemoth. So in Season 1, if you're going to be using NICO with anybody else, you go with the Shadow Manticore. On the contrary, if you're using NICO with Kinara and your Kinara is not awakened, don't waste your time on the Snowpeak Rock. If you're not going to awaken your Kinara, do not waste your time on the Snowpeak Rock. Instead, you should focus on the Shadow Manticore. With the Shadow Manticore, you can build it without using the end of season skill. All you need is this intense barbarism to increase the damage. This is something you can buy from the shop with exchange coins. So these are the two pets that you use for NICO and Kinara. They have some conditions. That is in Season 1. Now, when you go to other seasons, you have other options as well. You have this new pet here known as the Barbed Manticore. This is another one that you can try on your NICO. Now, I'm going to say this again, guys. If your Kinara is awakened, you go with the Snowpeak Rock. If you know you're never going to awaken your Kinara, do not waste your time on the Snowpeak Rock. Build either the Shadow Manticore or the Barbed Manticore. Now, if you're someone who wants to try maybe NICO with Madeline, you can go with this pet right here, the Frost Bear. I'm going to be making a guide for this pet very soon. It should be a good one. So what other options do we have here for NICO? I think that's pretty much it. Some people like to use this one right here, Venomous Lizard, just to poison the enemy, which is pretty good. Stay away from the Night Rock. It doesn't work with NICO. Don't waste your time on it. What else do we have here? I think that pretty much covers everything we need to know about pets. So to summarize everything, in Season 1, you use the Shadow Manticore. If your Kinara is not awakened, this is what you use. In later seasons, you try the Barbed Manticore again, if your Kinara is not awakened. So that's all you need to know about pets for the NICO. With all of that out of the way, now let us check out some talent trees for NICO in Call of Dragons. I have 3 different talent trees that we're going to look at today. So the first one we're going to check out is going to be the Precision talent tree. This is what a lot of people are using with NICO right now. If you're going to be using long range warfare, then you might want to try something, but this one is still going to work very well. With archers, you're going to need your march speed, which is why we've got some march speed over here. We got 2 of them. If you don't want march speed, you can switch. You can either go with head held high to give you more rage, and from here you can go with adrenaline rush to increase your normal attack. It just depends on your march speed synchronization. And then you pick this skill, damage intimidation, and you grab shower of blows. With NICO as the primary, he's gonna let your Kinara rage skill do 8% more damage. It has a 50% chance for that to happen. So we're gonna go in the precision talent tree. We take this counter attack, which works very well with NICO and Kinara. Over here, we're gonna take the wild wind, which is gonna give you 150 damage factor, because here we have onslaught. And if you look at NICO skill over here, we also have another onslaught. I think that's going to interfere with the performance of this invincible. So we're going to keep going over here. We grab cool under pressure. You're going to get some head held high, which is going to give you more rage. Over here, you get some onslaught. Again, I hope it doesn't interfere with the NICO skill number 4, but I think you should be able to use it. And then at the end, you go with Mighty Slash. Give yourself 1 extra normal attack. Basically, when you enter battle, you hit someone and then you run away. You could trigger this thing and then you come back again, hit them again, and trigger this thing again. With archers, I don't think this one is very good because you don't have time on the open field. You need to be mobile all the time. So you're not going to get full advantage of this Mark of War skill. This one right here is the way to go. So this is the first talent tree for NICO. This is something that I recommend. It's just going to depend on how much speed you really want. Now you can go in the bottom direction as well. If you want to go with a lot of normal attack crit rate, you can take this, and then go to the end and grab this. So this is talent tree for NICO with the precision. We got 1 point left. Where would I put that 1 point? I would put it somewhere here. Give me 1% normal attack damage. Or I will put it here. Nope, this one is only 0.8. I could also put it here to punish those mages. 1 more percent damage dealt to mages. Moving on to talent tree number 2. This one is going to be the Marksman talent tree. As you can see, I have labeled it Marksman / long range warfare. So with this one, you go all the way in the Marksman talent tree. You go to the end. Everything here is the same as we have discussed. So we come over here up to here. Everything is the same. And then you want to get this skill known as Delight. Increases rage accumulation speed by 15% when your legion's unit count is over 50%. So when you have long range warfare, this is going to be very useful because you will hide with your mages and you will be at full HP almost all the time. Yep. So this is going to be very good for you. You get more rage accumulation speed. And then we go over here, we grab Harvest, which should give you 5% additional attack, kill a bunch of infantry and max this out. We go to the end, you're going to get the Burst Shot. This is a fantastic skill. When your Marksman Legion launches a normal attack, they deal additional damage. So when you enter battle, you do 150 damage factor. And then you have your NICO awakening skill as well, which is 200 damage factor from a Kinara Jawbreaker defense break. These two work very well together to give you some good damage when you're going in and out of battle. What else do we need to cover from here? I think that's pretty much it. If you don't want a lot of march speed, you can go with head held high to give you more rage, especially in those long range warfare seasons. And then with 1 point left, I decided to drop it here because it gives you 2% more normal attack, which is very good. So this is the talent tree for the marksman branch. You can also try this skill if you like it. This one is also pretty good. Damage dealt bonus. Like your counter attack will do more damage as well, but you lose out on some defense. So this one also is another good skill to have if you want. You can decide between the two. So let's see which one people picked. So here 8.3% selected harvest, and then we got 14.7% selected radical. So yeah, decide which one you want between these two. As you can see, the majority are going with radical. So this is what you should go with. So pick this one and then go all the way to the end. Yep, so this is the talent tree for the marksman branch. Lastly, we're going to check out the talent tree for the super fast march speed. We got the 41% speed talent tree right here, as I have labeled it. With this talent tree, you're going to go in all the 3 directions. You want to get your archers to move at 41% march speed. That way you can go in and out very fast. This is going to be useful in seasons where you don't have long range warfare, because your archers are going to be targeted. If you're fast, you can go in, hit someone, and then get the F out. So this would be a good talent tree to use. You go in all 3 branches. Over here is the same with what we just discussed. On this right hand side, it's the same with what we discussed. Now we're going to come over here to the PvP. You grab this attack. You get this 10% march speed, giving you 41% march speed just from NICO alone, with Kinara as the deputy. And then over here you go with head held high to give you 50 rage. If you don't want this skill, you can go with Fury Flame, more hero skill damage dealt bonus. Over here you grab Army of Valor, increases damage dealt by your legion while in battle by 1% every 10 seconds to a maximum of 3%. With 1 point left, you're gonna drop it here, cool under pressure. Give yourself 2% more normal attack when your unit count is above 50%. So this is the talent tree for 41% march speed. If you want the one that people are using the most, I think it's something that looks like this. But some people go at the bottom here and grab this and go all the way over here. You just have to alter your march speed and switch it with the correct skill that you want from here. This is something that you have to do for your account. And then we have for long range warfare seasons. This is going to be very good, especially when you hide among your mages. So this is everything that you need to know about the brand new NICO. The game developers decided to remove the engineering skill and replace it with the PvP. He gets some HP and some march speed when he enters battle, which is pretty good. In terms of the Warpet, you're gonna need either the Shadow Manticore or the Snow Peak Rock. It depends. If you have an awakened Kinara, Snow Peak Rock is the way to go. If you don't have awakened Kinara, make sure you go with the Shadow Manticore instead. What else? When it comes to artifact, we know the Rattle Spear is the way to go. When it comes to pairing, you got Kinara and you have your multiple covering marches. So this is everything that we need to know about the NICO 2.0. Up to now, NICO is still useful in the open field for archer marches. So if you're going to be investing, make sure you invest in this hero. He's going to be useful for a very long time. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.